Today, we are delighted to have with us Dr. Rohit Gupta, Assistant Professor in the Department of Biomedical Engineering at Srm Institute of Science and Technology, Katanguluttur. Dr. Gupta earned his PhD from Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala, in Biomedical System Design and Processes Design, following a master's under Electronic Instrumentation and Control from the same institute. His foundation of study began with B.Tech in Applied Electronics and Instrumentation from Gautam Buddha Technical University, Lucknow. What's particularly compelling is how his educational journey from a master's engineering degree to a PhD in a closely aligned area builds a strong continuity between engineering fundamentals and advanced biomedical device design. It mirrors the path many of you are on, starting with core engineering foundations and moving towards application oriented research. His current research bridges human physiology with cutting edge medical innovation, from analyzing muscle signals and gait patterns to designing brain computer interface driven assistive systems. This means he doesn't just build devices, he deeply understands the body the device is meant to serve. In another few minutes, Dr. Gupta will share why human physiology isn't just a side note but the very foundation of meaningful biomedical engineering research and design.
First of all, express my gratitude, and it's a great honor for me to, first of all, agreeing for this interview session to participate. As a student, I'm so honorable for you, sir. So this interview session is based on the to empathize the students about the knowledge of human physiology and interaction with the biomedical engineering. So how human physiology acts as a pinnacle consideration for biomedical engineering. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Aditya. I'm from MTech first year biomedical department student. So master's level student. I am pursuing master's level. So kindly give me your interview. I mean the introduction of yourself.
Okay, so thank you, Aditya, first of all, having me. So I'm Dr. Rohit Gupta, and in SRM I'm working since March 23. So I think 2.5 years recently I joined here, and I did my master's and PhD from Thapar Institute, that is in Patiala, Punjab, and my undergraduate was in completely instrumentation side. Then in masters I came to this power electronics and device control, power factor correction, that is more towards the industrial side. Then in biomedical, this in PhD I come down to the biomedical side. That is much more fascinating, what I feel. And after completing my PhD I did postdocs. So first postdoc I did with the DRDO Debel lab that is there in Bangalore, and the work was more of a related to the exoskeleton design for the soldiers when they are going to the high altitude and with the heavy loads. And then the second postdoc I did with in IIT Delhi, that is with Dr. Tapan Gandhi. So his lab is neurocomputing lab in IIT Delhi, and he is one of the youngest professor awarded in, at least in IIT Delhi. So there I worked on very different projects. Some of the projects are completely run by me, started by me, and some of the projects are PhD students projects. So there my you can say the research domain and the spectrum got little wider, like specifically from embedded biomedical system design I came down to the neuro rehabilitation side. And my project was there, that is again it was a funded project for the from the DST. So that project was development of neuroprosthesis. That means the upper limb prosthesis controlled by the EEG brain signal, integrating the EMG signal, muscle signal, as well as some of the inertial sensors also. So then after that I joined here.
So yes, so you have stepped into lots of sectors, and it's a very discoverable experience about your background. So, sir, served about your educational background, and what drew your curiosity to step into biomedical engineering for your PhD degree?
So if you see, starting from my undergraduate, it was completely instrumentation, and more specifically, it was the applied instrumentation and control. Applied, not instrumentation, applied electronics and instrumentation. So that means the application part of instrumentation devices in the industry. So that time, this biomedical was not that much in boom, and frankly, that time in my college at least, I was not having the proper biomedical faculty also. So some of the faculty, they take this biomedical subjects as a optional or maybe the elective subject, and it was run like a pure theoretical subject. But fortunately for me, there was one particular professor. He did that MTech from CDEC Chandigarh, Saurabh Bharadwaj. So he introduced me with the physiology. That, see, what he introduced me, that biomedical engineering, or that time it was the biomedical instrumentation, the subject was. So he introduced me, see, you should not see that biomedical subject just simply like a engineering perspective, that okay, there are some sensors that we will integrate and we will get something, and then you have to design how to sensors work. You should understand how these sensors are working. It is not only that. Ultimately, you are going to install or integrate all those sensors with some human. So you should learn the basic human physiology. So from there it starts. Then when I came to masters, there, what to say, fortunately or unfortunately, I didn't get the supervisor who was whose domain was biomedical. I want to work in biomedical, but the professors was already filled with their, you can say, how many number of students they can take in the masters. So I get into the more into the electrical side, because see, anyway, what I thought, maybe ultimately I have to go to the industry and I have to contribute there. So then I started learning this power electronics, power factor correction, how to control the driver installation, all that. And why I'm saying fortunately, unfortunately, because I was not looking for that. I was looking for biomedical, but I got that. And why it is so fortunate to me, because during that time I got to know and work with one of the very best professor, if you know, Dr. P.S. Bhimra, who is the one of the prominent author for many of the electrical books,
Yes,
electrical
yes.
drives book. So he actually he came to know that okay, I am not that much interested, but he said, okay, you just take the classes, take the tutorials, take the lab, and if you feel any problem or anything, just come to me. Then he observed. He was very senior, so just by looking at the students, he can understand. So he observed. He see that I am not that much interested. Somehow I am going through the topic and all that. Then he only explained me, see, whatever you are learning in power factor correction or maybe controlling the drive or whatever it is, it's not like you can apply all these things only in the industry. So he introduced me first with the prosthetic. So he said, see, ultimately, whatever the prosthetic you are going to use, it will have a motor.
True.
If it is a motor, if it is a high current or high rating motor, it will have a driver. If it will have a driver, it there you can apply your all your learning, whatever you are learning in this. So then I thought, okay, maybe whatever the every bit I am learning, it is going to help me. And then when I joined PhD, that time I was free to choose my research topic and everything. So there I started pursuing the research in my core biomedical, what I actually want to do. And then it starts slowly. I learned many things, which I thought I know many things, but when I started learning, looking at the thing, then I came to know, no, I don't know anything. I have to start from the basic. So PhD is like that only. So that is how I jumped from this field to that field, and then I came down to biomedical.
That was explained fabulously, sir. So for us, the electronics part is also important.
Yeah.
And with biomedical engineering and the human physiology, you have also learned. Fortunately, it is the very basics knowledge you need to learn before applying the biomedical research. We need to know about the electronical aspects also, so
Yes.
that we can consider which sensor we need to approach.
Yes.
So For the very first time when you encountered this biomedical research, how did you feel like human physiology is the pinnacle consideration of all the aspects?
Yes, see, uh, that is again uh, first time when I introduced with the biomedical human physiology from that perspective. It was in masters. One of my faculty, Dr. Yadvir Singh, who is in now in HBTI Kanpur, head of the Department of Electrical Department. So he started subject with control system because the subject was control system. Then, because see, in that batch there are different students. I was preferring the biomedical. I want to do the research in biomedical, but there are certain people who want to do the research in other domain also. But the teacher who was explaining is the control system, so he used to take examples from different fields. So he also given many, was to say that time it was very fascinating when he started the examples with cardiovascular system. He started the example with lung control, how our body is going to control the lung, how our this complete bowel movement is going to be controlled. Even if we are resting, still it is in control. So if you see, some of the part of the body or some of the system we are controlling voluntary, some of the systems we are controlling involuntary, and some of the system now it is in very much in research in the neuro rehabilitation and other domain, that subject are or the patients are going to be trained so that they can control that some of the involuntary activities voluntarily. So like one of the field is nowadays very much in what to say, trend, because we all are having this smartwatch and heart rate measurement thing. So HRV, heart rate variability, is one of the things that is very much in trend. So that can be, he that time he explained that experiment or that example, that how the HRV, heart rate variability, can be used to control the involuntary movements in our body, and to train the subject that you should control your involuntary movements voluntarily so that your HRV will be in control.
Right.
So that was the, you can say, one of the point. And then there are many things that other professors introduced. So from there I started, okay, it's not like we should take it human physiology as a human physiology, as a biology. It's much more than that.
Right.
Yes.
So when you're in your lecture period, so when you're teaching the students, so how do you empathize them? Like, the human physiology is a major aspect. So how do they understand when they undergo the biomedical research?
See, even now if you see the students that we are getting in class, why I'm taking this kind of explanation, because ultimately whatever the research we are doing, it is not kept only with you as a researcher. It's supposed to be imparted, and that should generate some new researchers, or that should generate some new ideas within the students. So ultimately, even in lab, whatever you are doing, out of lab, whatever you are doing, directly or indirectly, it is for the students only. So it's like you are throwing the seeds, and students are the receptor. Whomsoever will receive the seed, maybe some new plant will grow.
Yes.
So students, if you see the students, they are from different class in the sense they are having different interest. Specifically in biomedical domain, you will find many students who are interested in actually in medical side, but because of some reason they haven't got the medical, so that's why they come to the biomedical. There are few students who want to take computer science, but because of some reason they haven't got the computer science, so they came down to the biomedical. There are some students who want to take, let's say, the biotech, or let's say the electronics stream, but somehow they haven't got, so they come down to the biomedical. Very few maybe you will find that those actually want to take the biomedical. So while explaining the things in the class, let's say the human physiology, the medical student may understand very well.
Exactly.
But their perspective will be only biology side. So we have to take the examples, we have to take the you can say scenarios where biology is there, but how we can introduce the engineering in that.
Yes.
So sensor part is from the electronic side. So maybe the electronics student who is interested in electronics, they are very much interested in the electronics part. But we have to explain the topic in such a way that they should be interested in biology part also. Because ultimately, if they are not interested or they are not understanding the biology part, it cannot be combined.
Exactly.
So we used to take the examples in such a way that all the fields can be covered, and every student should have some bit of interest in that particular example, and that's how they can generate the interest for other field also. Because once we send the message that okay, alone with this knowledge only you can't do all the things, you have to get the knowledge of other things also, other domain also, then only you can perform well, or maybe then you can have broader idea, generate some devices or maybe any kind of thing. So this is the whole idea. Like I used to take examples from different domains. I used to explain that example from different perspective as a engineering side, and that's how the other students got interested. So this is what I used to follow.
Yes, sir. So combining other domains is the very basic part in the biomedical stream. So as per the current trends, sir, evolution in science is never-ending journey, a never-ending journey. So how do you feel with the current human physiology evolution and the biomedical research ongoing, sir?
See, the human evolution, if you see, it's not like if you don't explore that field that something is not happening there. It's not like if you don't open this gate, nothing is happening there. Something is happening there. The only thing is we have to open the gate, we have to open that window, and we have to look into it. And for that we need scientific expertise, for that we need scientific advancement. So the things are going in that direction only. For example, if you see, let's say 10 years back or maybe 15 years back, that time if you have want to implement a simple code just to measure some of the signal or maybe EMG signal, ECG signal from our body, and you want to save that signal into your system or laptop, you have to write a big code. You have to design a complete embedded system with the microcontroller, with all other accessories. And then now, because commercialization is also there, money is also involved, so this Arduino boards coming, then many other boards are there, because Arduino boards, maybe you can send the data with a wired system, and then the other versions are coming. So this is what, nothing but the evolution only. And with the human, the technical evolution is also going on. So it's all depends upon what you need. The things are there. There are people who are going to invest that, who are going to develop the things, and you have to just pay and use that for some better ideas. So now you don't have to think about, okay, this should be the microcontroller, then you have to add one switch, reset switch and all that. Nothing. You have an idea, the board is already there, you just connect it, use it, see what the results are.
Right, sir. So as you said, there is a gate between the recent advancement and for us to view. So to get updated with the current trends, what kind of tools or websites or the the websites? So which kind of tools you are using, sir, apart from the...
See, personally, if I say, okay, to just little bit, I will deviate from your question. Nowadays, the problem is, and again, that is the good thing and the bad thing. The thing is, you are having abundant source of information. When you are having abundant source of information, n number of source of information, so good thing is there is no you can say restriction on the information. You think and you get that information. But the problem is what those sources, algorithms they are using. In those algorithms, if you once start looking into the different direction or maybe in the wrong direction, then the system recommender and all that things, they will direct you in that wrong direction only, until unless you don't find, oh, I'm going in wrong direction, or maybe this bit of information or this type of information I don't need. If you know, then only you can divert your path. Otherwise, you log in into your system, mobile or laptop, or get it to the internet, and you get hell lot of information. So what I used to do, and still I am following, first of all, just see what is your interest.
Yes.
Then look what are the labs who are working on that direction. Identify those labs. And it is not always that labs have to publish a paper, then only you will get the information. If you follow labs, if you follow particular researcher who are very good in your domain, if you see their LinkedIn profile, if you see their maybe their publication, if you see their labs, so you will see daily you are getting some new information. And then in at least in Google Scholar, there is one option where you can follow a particular researcher. So whenever they are publishing some paper, you will get that information. Oh, they have did something new, they have implemented something new. So few of the researcher to whom I am following in India or maybe in abroad. So one of the researcher, he is very you can say one of the best in this prosthetic design, that is Dr. Hurr. He is from MIT Media Lab. And so for instance, as I'm telling you, that during my PhD I started searching for the lab and the researcher and everything. That time I found, okay, there is one fellow who is working in the prosthetic side. Then I started looking for that, why he is working on that side, and how he get into the MIT. So what I found, he was the mountaineer. So during one of the not the accident, but he was having some medical condition. Because of that, his both the legs needs to be amputated. So since then, because his passion was climbing the mountain, all the mountains, almost all the mountains he used to climb. So he started designing some of the prosthetic. Then those were not working out. Then he get into the MIT. He opted some course, and then he started his research from there only. Now he is one of the best in prosthetic design. So if you search, if you see, not as a researcher but as a personal life, if you see, you will find many motivation like that. So okay, so coming to your question, I used to follow Google Scholar, few labs directly. I used to, whenever I get time, I used to go to those 4 or 5 labs are there. I used to go to their website. I used to see, okay, this particular PhD scholar or researcher, what he is doing next, what publication it is coming.
Yes.
Like that only I used to follow.
Alright, sir. So I am working on into data science and developing few models using machine learning. So what do you think about the AI and machine learning aspects towards human physiology that binds with the biomedical research?
Okay. See, my stand with this AI, ML or this deep tech is very clear, let's say from day one. See, until unless we don't have any fruitful objective, fruitful application, which is helpful for the society, which is helpful for the people who actually needed it. Otherwise, whatever tech you develop, whatever model you will develop, it is of no use. Even for instance, if you develop any AI model, what you need? First thing you need is the data.
Data, yes.
What data you need? First, you have to decide the application. Why you need that application? First, you have to have the motivation. Motivation from where it will come? Sometimes you see the problems in the society. Sometimes you see there is something around you which you think it can be solved. Then from there you start, okay, this is the problem. For that I need this kind of data. This data is available or not. If it is not available, then maybe I can install some sensors or something so that I can get the data. Once you have the data, then what type of data it is, then what actually you want to get out of that data. Then based on that you decide, okay, what type of model you should run for that. For instance, if it is a very low volume data, then you will go for normally machine learning. If it is a very high volume data, you should go for deep learning. But techniques are there. You can convert that low volume data into high volume data, and then you can go for the deep learning. So likewise you progress.
Yes. So consider me as a new budding biomedical researcher who wants to step into any research, but how you will explain him that the human physiology should be mentioned at these points while writing the documentation part?
Okay, see, so the thing is, let's say I want to start something in biomedical domain, but let's say I don't know. So first of all, you should understand that uh, this problem statement. First of all, you should look for the problem statement. Then see, if you see the human physiology, it's very complex.
Exactly.
Okay, and the complexity is up to that level, up to that scale, that you can't take out any one system and you, if you want to only study the cardiovascular system, it's not like that. You can't isolate the cardiovascular system and study it in isolation. No, if you are going to study the cardiovascular system, you have to integrate the respiration system also. And if you further want to expand the application, you can introduce the neural system also. So like that, first of all, identify what is the problem statement that I want to look for.
Yeah.
Okay, once it is decided, then see what is the main system in our human physiology. That is the core that we have to thoroughly, from zero to like from the basics, from the scratch, we should start learning about that. Then see what are the things, though, what are the other systems those are interfaced or interfering with that particular system. In that also, it's not like all the systems are interfering with the same intensity, with the same complexity. So in that also you can do some ranking. Then whomsoever is the best integrated or very you can say tightly integrated, very highly correlated, just take out that system, then see what is the effect of that system onto that system. So from scratch, you just start with one system, introduce another system, and then based on your application or up to what extent you want to go, you can integrate other systems also. Okay, now let's say I started with the cardiovascular system. I want to develop something, uh, let's say, to predict the stroke. Okay, heart stroke, let's say. So just see, first of all, what are the sensors that I can use at first place? What are the things that I have to check? So how you will come to know that what you have to check? You should go to the clinical side, see what doctors are actually looking for. Doctors are looking all the patterns and everything manually.
Yes.
Can you convert or can you generate something that your, let's say, AI model or something can do it automatically? So somehow you can reduce down the load on that particular medical expert. So it can